And I'm not saying that there's not people out there that don't, worship the devil, but they're cornball. Just there's my roommate in college worshiped the Mother Earth. She thought the Earth was like a god, that it has a spirit, and that now I've looked at her webpage. She's a devout Catholic that talks about Jesus on her website on Facebook, and very rational. She's an educator. You know, people change. There was a girl that I went to freshman year. She and I were both in freshman colloquium. Oh no, it was freshman seminar, English class. Intro. We both took the test at the beginning of the class, and we both clipped out of the class because our test scores, indicated that we didn't need remediation or to go through those study practices that were taught in that class. She was a devout Christian. By our junior year, she was wearing combat boots and talking about her female lover. People change. And I'm not saying that because I'm, opposed to homosexuality or anything. I'm not gay, but people's values change, and they might believe something 100%. I believe that to be true, and then, okay, this kid just walked over there and just turned around and is making a beeline towards me. Started playing on his phone and started walking this way. I don't know that kid, and I've never seen him before. And he corrected his steps. He's still pushing buttons on his phone. Stay away from me, kids. I do not want to know you or have anything to do with you. And he's just walking down the sidewalk that runs along the front of the flagpole. He's not even wearing a jacket. It's so cold. He's got on short sleeves. Where on earth is he going? He's walking over there by the exit way that leads to the duck pond. He must be walking home or something. Let's see if he didn't turn like I'm walking back this way. He may have just been walking up on the curb, and he looked like he was walking towards me because he did correct his steps. He didn't continue onto my vehicle. I worked with kids all day, every day, for 5 years. I've been through it all when it comes to discipline problems and fights, everything. And I was so sick of kids by the time the end of the day came. I mean, I loved being a sub because I'm a good teacher, but, the last thing on my mind when I left work was, having any type of desire to pursue children. I'm called. Who is called? It's probably colder now because it's turning dark. Charge complete. And that's what's so funny about this is if anybody's ever worked in a classroom like I was, the last thing teachers, after they've worked all day with kids, is the last thing that they want to do is have anything else to do with those kids after they've done their job all day. You know, I even heard a teacher say that. You know, it's because it's a hard job. Teaching is a hard job, and it's a thankless job. Teachers work so hard, and they have so much responsibility. Paperwork out the wazoo, dealing with parents, dealing with administrators, having to follow state guidelines to get their job done right, so they can feed their families. If I could, I think teachers should start out probably making at least $60,000 a year first year. I think if that was the case, we'd have a lot more teachers in the classroom because a lot more people would go to college and think, yeah, I want to be a teacher, you know, because they'd see it as a promising field financially. They wouldn't be worried about, yeah, I'd like to be a teacher, I'm a good teacher, but teachers don't get paid very well. I don't know how I'm going to feed my family. I'd like to have 3 kids one day, and if I'm only going to make, you know, $35,000 my first year, you know, maybe 45 after I've been teaching for 15 years, you know, really. I mean, those are things that people consider, so I wanted to go into teaching because I was always a good teacher. I was a faculty assistant in college. You know, drama club president, assisted all the students in the shop and stuff like that. And I wanted to get certified in college, but when I went to talk to Dean Marcy, he refused to allow me to because I hadn't declared that major. And he told me I'd missed the deadline. I'd also taken psychology classes and English classes that I could have minored in by the time I graduated. Our college, you had to have certain things done at the end of every year. You know, freshman year you had to have certain classes taken by the end of that year, or sophomore, junior, senior, so on and so on, or you couldn't return the next year. You had to have your majors declared and stuff like that, and minors too. And I think it was my junior year when I went and talked to Dean Marcy. He told me I'd missed the deadline. So there's the guard. She just walked out with her phone, and she's sitting on the bench making a phone call. I am freaking cold, and I need to pee, but I do not want to go back in the library. Cold. I'm trying to blow air on my skin so it'll warm up my skin from the heat of my breath. It's going to be a real cold night. If it was 51 when the sun was up, then it's going to be a lot colder. Take it I won't be able to sleep outside in the Durango. I'm going to stay up all night playing Monopoly. I've read the rules about kids if they're with their parents, if they're out in public after curfew, then